Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about measures of center. So, a measure of center is a measure that describes the typical value of a data set. So, there's actually three of them. The mean is one type of measure of center. Sometimes it's not the best one to use though, for some data sets. So, we also have something called the median. So, remember, first of all, let's go back and mention, remember the mean, you add up all the data and then you divide by however many data points you have. Okay? The median is the middle value of a data set. So sometimes this is a better representation of the center if there are outliers in the data. So, if I have an outlier out here, it'll stretch your data one direction. If I have an outlier over here, it'll stretch it this direction, the mean. It'll stretch it this direction, but the median usually stays pretty close to the center. So oftentimes it's a better thing to use than the mean. If there is no number in the middle, then you take the two middle numbers and you average them. Okay? And then you got the mode. The mode is the number that occurs the most in a data set. Okay, so let's look at some of these here. So find the mean, median, mode of this data set. So here I have five. Now, first of all, it's very important to make sure your data is in order from smallest to largest. Okay, so I have five data sets or data points here. So the mean, I'm going to go ahead and add those up and divide by 5. So 5 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12 plus 14 divided by 5. So this is what, 26, 35, 43, 48 divided by 5. So it's going to be 9.6. Okay, so my mean is 9.6. Let's double check that. 26, 35, 43, 40. Yes, okay. So now the median is the middle one. So I just go up here to my data. There's my median. The median is 9. Okay. The mode is the one that occurs the most. Now, you can have up to 2 modes. This one, nothing occurs more than once. So there is no mode for this. If we have one number that occurs repeatedly, that would be the mode. If I have 2 numbers that have the same number of data points, they can both be the mode. But if I have more than that that are the same, then there's no mode. Okay. So now, let's find the mean, median, mode of this data set. So it's really the same as this data set, except it's got another 5 down here. Okay, so we're going to go back here. We're going to calculate the mean the same. So it would be 5 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12 plus 14, all divided by 6 this time. Okay, so this is going to be 53 over 6, which, let's see here, let's just do this the easy way. 53 divided by 6 is going to be 8.83. Then 3 repeats. So, changed our mean a little bit. The mean reduced. Now on this one, the median, we have an even number of numbers, so we take the two middle ones, the 8 and the 9. That's not what I meant to do here. Okay. Here we go. So 8 plus 9 divided by 2 would be 17 over 2, which would be 8.5. So there's our median, is 8.5. The mode on this one, 5 occurs twice, so that's the mode. It's the only one that occurs more than once. Okay, so there we go. So if I was looking at this, the mean and the median are pretty close together. The mode doesn't really represent the data very well. So Okay, moving on. Find the mean, median, and mode of the bowling scores below. All right, so fortunately they're already in order. The mean. Tell you what, let's have you pause this video and do this on your own, and then jump back on here and see how you do. Okay, so the mean was 90 plus 105 plus 120 plus 125 plus 135 plus 145 plus 160 plus 160 plus 175 plus 205. And all of this is going to be divided by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let's get out our calculator and make sure we do this carefully and quickly. So we'll add these things up. $75 and $205. So this adds up to 1,420 divided by 10, which has an average score of 142. So there's our mean. That's the one that takes the longest to calculate. Okay, the median. All right, the median, I just find the middle one. So there's 10 data points, so I go to 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's between these two. So I would take 135 plus 145, and I would divide that by 2. So that's, 280 divided by 2, which is 140. Okay, so I always like it when my mean and my median are really close together. Now my mode is the one that occurs the most. So that would be right there. That occurs twice. That's the only one that occurs twice. So the mode is 160. The mode is almost always the easiest one to calculate. Okay, so hopefully you got all three of those right. Okay, here we have a list of shows. This list shows the very favorite types of movies for students in a class. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to organize the data in what's called a frequency table. So we have the different types of movie: action, comedy, drama, and horror. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a tally of the data. So we've got comedy, we've got drama, we've got horror. Then we've got horror, drama, and horror. Horror, drama, horror. Okay, next row, comedy, comedy, action. Okay, fourth row, action, comedy, action. Fifth row, horror, horror, drama, and comedy. Then we've got comedy, comedy, horror. Then we've got horror, comedy, and action. And we've got horror, action, and drama. Okay. So, now our frequency is we go ahead and we tally this up. So there's 5 here, there's 8 here, there's 4 here, and there's 7 here. Okay, now you find the mode. Well, we don't really have, if we're looking for a mode, the one that occurs the most, that would be comedy. So there's our mode right there. Okay. So pretty simple to do. Frequency tables are super easy. Okay, find the mean, median, and mode of the sneaker prices. Which measure is the best representation of the data? So I'm going to go ahead and let you pause the video and do this, and then jump back on and see how you did. Okay, so let's start with the mean. Okay, so it'd be 20 plus 31. Plus 122 plus 48, plus 37 plus 20, plus 45 plus 65. And we're going to divide that by, what is there, 8 of them? 2, 4, 6, 8, yes. Okay, so let's get our calculator and do this. So we'll add these all up. Plus 65. So this comes out to be 388 divided by 8, which is $48.50. That's my mean. Okay. Now, is there a median? Well, the first thing I got to do, really, is I got to put these in order from smallest to largest. So I've got a 20 and another 20. I've got a 31, a 45, a 48. Oops, I forgot a 37, so that's going to go here. 37, 45, 48, 65, and 122. Is that all? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so got them all. Since there's 8 of them, the middle is going to be between numbers 4 and 5. So I'm going to take those two numbers, I'm going to add them together and divide by 2. So that's going to be 82 divided by 2 is going to be $41. So there's my median. Okay, and then finally I have a mode. I have this one occurs twice for $20. So the mode is $20. Okay, which one do you suppose represents the data the best? Well, it's kind of a toss-up. I can throw out the mode because that certainly I wouldn't expect to. If this was the cost of shoes, I wouldn't expect to spend $20 on shoes. I guess I would feel pretty good about the median on this one. I wouldn't feel that bad about the mean either, but that's just kind of a. Well, yeah, 48.50. That's up here. The median's the best one on this one, so I would go with the median as the best. It's not always the best, but it often is. Okay. Now, here's the thing: is we have this data, and all of this is fairly close together. Then you got this one that's way out there. It's like twice as much as the next highest one. That's called an outlier. So, are there any outliers in this data? Yep, there sure is. That would be 122. So, yes, the outlier is $122. Okay, so find the mean, median, mode without the outlier. Okay, so here's what I would do is I'm going to do my mean again. Now, I don't have to really add these all back up again. It was 388 with all of them, but if I just take out the 122, 388 minus 122, that'd be 266. So if I add these all up, I'm going to get 266, and I'm going to divide that by 7 this time because there's only 7 data pieces. So divided by 7, this comes out to be $38. So my mean now, without the outlier, is $38. Okay, what happens to the median? Well, the median, I'm going to cross out this one right here, which means I'm going to take this data set right here, find the middle. That's going to be 37. Okay, so the median is now $37. Okay, and then the mode doesn't change. The mode is still $20. Okay, so now look what this does. There's a pretty big spread here between these two. $7.50. I mean, the mean up here is like right here. Okay. Now, when I take the data, when I take this one out, the median just moves from here to here, not very far, and the mean moves quite a bit. It moves from here to inside here as well. So this is much better representation of the data without the $122 shoe. Okay. Which one does it affect the most? It definitely affects the mean the most. Okay, so there we go. So you're going to get to do problems 1 through 37 odd tonight. I'll see you guys in class. Have a great evening.